What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have the brand new Grand Voyage against Smoker, starting off at Logtown. I don't know if we're going to get another Logtown Grand Voyage moving forward, but hey, you know, this is the first of the Logtown Grand Voyages, and this is actually kind of interesting because it means moving forward we actually might be heading into potentially the Grand Line and Laboon. That might actually be our next boss. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a pretty tricky Grand Voyage. At this current point in time, there is only one confirmed team that has been able to clear this event. And in this video, I'm showing you guys the team composition, the full breakdown of everything you need to know for how to get through this. Now look, you don't need this exact team to clear levels 1 to 3. I think level 4 at this current point in time is pretty tricky in terms of the amount of HP the bosses have. Levels 1 to 3 are definitely completable without this exact team. But in this video, I'll be covering level 5, showing you guys the max capacity and everything you need in order to get through this content. So the team that we have is going to be this team right here. Now it does utilize Gear 4 Luffy. This is the time skip Luffy, which does super evolve to Bounce Man Luffy. You do need this character at level 150. And when you do that, you'll get access to his captain ability and his special ability upgrade. Both are very useful in this piece of content. Obviously, it's kind of focused around this character being used. And this character, also with Limit Break Expansion, does get some additional statistics and cooldown. Cooldown not that important. The statistics, on the other hand, are very important. As for the other characters on the team, we've got a free-to-play character, which is this Chopper character. This is a previously released treasure map from the film Red last year. This character is very powerful. He's got a really nice special that allows you to get a full heal, as well as removing burn and special bind. He also applies a resistance down for the enemy, and we actually use him twice in this content, which is very key. We also have Boa Hancock. Now, my Boa Hancock is level 150. That is needed. What isn't needed, though, is that Boa, you don't need her at Limit Break Expansion. You just need her at 150, which, yes, is still hard to do, but at least it's less Limit Break materials you do have to invest. She's got a really interesting special where if you got Luffy on your crew, she can actually give you a delayed conditional boost, which is very useful, giving you more damage on that final stage. And she does do a bit of damage. It's not really that important though. But the other thing is that she does remove 3 turns of Rainbow Shield and 3 turns of Threshold, which is very key. And then as for the other characters, we've got the rare recruit Sanji. This Sanji came out, I can't remember exactly when he came out, but he's a very, very useful unit as his special does a lot of different things. It gets rid of bind and attack down, he locks slots, and he will extend the duration of attack boosts and also buff attack boosts that are currently on your crew. If you already have an attack boost, or if you don't have an attack boost, he gives you one. He's very, very good, and also has a really interesting crewmate ability where he gives you a full board of tandem slots at the start of the quest. And that's a very underrated thing, and it's very important that he has that, as that's going to be very important for Stage 2. As well as expanding this character, he does get access to the Limit Special Use Resistance potential ability, removing the debuff by 2 turns, which is very important for this. And then the final character is Katakuri, my boy Mr. Slam Jam. I'm so excited that Mr. Slam Jam gets to show off here. He's actually really good here once again. He has the ability of being able to do the multi-turn attack boost if you're inflicted with, or like when you use his special, he gives you a clock buff and he gives you an attack boost. He does some slot change, but also the damage parts of his special is very key because the turns where we use his special, we're not inflicted with normal attacks only. Now, something else that's understated is the potential abilities here. So a couple of these characters have the recovery bind resistance potential ability. It's actually very important that you're able to remove 20 turns of it, because on stage 1 you are inflicted with 20 turns of that debuff. You need to remove it so you can heal HP back. And then for the supports, we have Ivankov on Luffy to remove poison. We have the Nami on Chopper to remove Threshold. We have Zeph on Sanji for color affinity boost. We have Cracker on Katakuri to remove those 2 chain debuffs. And then we also have the Bonnie attached to Hancock to give her a guaranteed recovery slot on the final stage, which is very important. Now, another thing that I guess we do need to talk about is the ship. The ship that I have here, the Liberal Hind, is upgraded to level 12, and it does have 1 level of modifications to get access to the 1.4 times health boost. The other modification isn't that important. It removes bind, which yes, is very good, but it's actually not required for this content. As long as you have the ability to get the additional health pool and have it at level 12, which means you get the additional attack multipliers from the ship, that is what is required. But eventually I'll go back and get this maxed out. But anyways, let's actually go ahead now, jump into the content, and showcase how this team can get through this brand new Grand Voyage. So another thing I do want to talk about real quick is that I was not the original developer of this team. Shout out to Snowman Treasure Cruise, who is a Japanese content creator. He was the original locator and designer of this team, so I'll leave a link to his official video. Go ahead and check him out and give him some support, because this is a crazy undertaking to be the first individual to actually get a team to work against the level 5 Grand Voyage. But anyways, let's talk about this real quick. So the reason why Sanji is so vital for this piece of content is the full board of tandem slots you see here. The reason why this is important is for a lot of different things. So Sanji's special here removes the bind, and we will be using him a little later to remove attack down. He also locks the slots that he has with that crewmate ability to give the full board of tandem. But keeping these tandem slots are so important for when we reach stage 2. Because on stage 2 what happens is that any normal tandem slot is changed into a block slot. But any other type of slot, like a type slot, recovery slot, whatever it may be, is changed into either a super bomb or a paralysis slot. We want to have these block slots for the Katakuri, and you do see that we activate all of these specials here, including the chopper to remove the burn, give us healing, and also have that Nami support to remove the damage threshold on the opponent's side of the field. And then we also have the 2 Luffy specials to kill the mobs, so we can kill here. And the thing a lot of people don't realize is that Luffy has a debuffing effect, where if he, after you use his special, 3 turns later, he will bind and despair himself for 7 turns. But the interesting thing is that if Luffy is blown away, when he comes back while the expiration of that 3-turn effect occurs, it actually doesn't inflict you with the 7 turns of bind and despair. I had no idea that this had even happened. I guess there weren't really too many situations where we could even check this out. But Katakuri special on stage 2 is super key, because we're not even inflicted with normal attacks only, and we were given so much damage and health cutting effects within the first couple of turns that Katakuri special is going to be more than enough to kill here. And then Luffy comes back and we're not inflicted with that bind and despair, so that actually works out really, really well. And Luffy's really good as the captain here, because when you use his special to become the Gear 4 form, he has 56% damage reduction in his captain. And if you stack 2 captains with the 56% damage reduction, you're going to be tanking a lot of damage very well. And there's lots of death hits and preemptive damage in this content, where Gear 4 captain is going to be very good for that. This is where the Ivankov support is very useful for removing the toxic and the poison slots that are inflicted to the team. And it also is very important that you attack in the right order, otherwise you're not going to be able to kill. So attacking in the right order is going to be very important, so if you do need to recap it, make sure to go ahead and check over the clip. Here we got the buggy stage, which is the second last stage here, and we want to be using the Gear 4 specials once again. Ideally, use the 2 Gear 4 specials first, and then use the Sanji special, because Gear 4 does actually provide you with a very big attack boost, and his attack boost is far superior to what Sanji can give you. So on stage 1, we have to use Sanji first to remove that bind, so that we could use the chopper special, so that we could use the Luffy special to kill the mobs. But on stage 4, we want to use Luffy first, so make sure to do that. And then of course, attacking in the right order, finish off with the 2 Luffys and the Katakuri, and we can get the knockout. Now, something interesting is that we had that support of Bonnie attached to Hancock, and it's very important that we have that, because when we reach stage 5, one of the mob characters will have a barrier where you have to hit the enemy with a recovery slot in order to break that barrier. And it's kind of annoying. So what we do is that support gives a recovery slot to Hancock, allowing us to break that barrier. And ideally we hit with Katakuri, then Sanji, then we hit with Boa to kill the barrier, Chopper kills that secondary mob, and then both Luffys should have enough damage to knock out Smoker. So that is pretty much it. I'll leave you guys with the rest of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.